Hey everyone, welcome back to another Mattel Jurassic World review. Today we're taking a look at the Wild Roar Jurassic World Chaos Theory Epic Evolution Pachyrhinosaurus. Chaos Theory is the subline to Epic Evolution, very similar to what we saw a couple years ago with Dino Escape and Camp Cretaceous. I ended up finding this figure at Target. I actually snagged it during the sale, so I got this thing for $13.99. I think that sale ends in a day or two. I don't know when I'm going to actually post this video, but they are showing up in Targets and Walmart, so if you're hunting these new Wild Raw figures, definitely hit those two stores. And I don't have a link to these figures yet, but as soon as I find one, I will always post one in the description if you want to order one online. Chaos Theory is the newest Jurassic World animated series on Netflix. I thoroughly enjoyed it. It has a much more mature tone compared to Camp Cretaceous. I actually like the first two seasons of Camp Cretaceous. The last two, not so much. Just not a fan of the remote-controlled dinosaurs and whatever hell that thing is. But yeah, Camp Cretaceous, awesome. Definitely check it out. Big thumbs up from me. So this Pachyrhinosaurus comes in the new Chaos Theory packaging. We have Darius with the nasty Allosaurus on the side. I believe that is the same Allosaurus from Battle of Big Rock. Got the Chaos Theory logo all proudly displayed along with the Epic Evolution logo in the back of the box. We do have a nice product shot of the Pachyrhinosaurus as well as the other Wild Raw figures. I think the Pachy is going to be the only one I review from this wave of Wild Raws. I have plenty of Parasaurolophus because Hammond Collection. Ceratosaurus, same thing. Hammond Collection is better. And not a big fan of the Majungasaurus. Very generic looking. Looks pretty much similar to the Crixonotosaurus that came out a few months ago. And plus I have the older Dino Rivals or wherever line the first Majungasaurus came out in. I actually like that take on the figure much better. So enough about the packaging. Let's crack these figures open and take a closer look. Now, this is the first official Pachyrhinosaurus from Mattel. Way back in the day when they first got the Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom license, they released a Sinoceratops that suspiciously looked like a Pachyrhinosaurus. Now, the thought behind that is, during the production of Fallen Kingdom, the Sinoceratops was originally going to be Pachyrhinosaurus. Usually these movie studios gives the toy companies making their products the concept art so they can stop making the toys so they can release in time for the movie, and somewhere along the line Pachyrhinosaurus was changed to Sinoceratops, so we had this really weird release, and it took like a couple years later to actually get a proper Sinoceratops figure, and now we finally have an officially labeled Mattel Pachyrhinosaurus. And for measurements, this figure is 11 inches long from the tip of the beak to the tip of the tail, or just shy of 28 centimeters, about 5¼ inches tall to the top of the frill at 13.3 centimeters. So I'm considering this Pachyrhinosaurus, there's actually 3 species of Pachyrhino. Pachyrhino canadensis, I'll get into why a little bit later on in the review. So Pachyrhinosaurus canadensis was between 19.7 to 26.2 feet long, or 6 to 8 meters. So I put this figure in the 121 to the 128 scale range, so it's a little bit small. Usually Jurassic World line kind of tries to stay around that 118 scale, and this fellow, it is in Chaos Theory, and it was a pretty big animal. But with some of these species, they fall victim to the assortment that they're in. The Wild Raws, they have to fit in a certain size package, and so sometimes scale has to be sacrificed. This figure came out pretty well in my opinion. Like I said earlier, it's the only one out of the 4 Wild Raws that really jumped out at me as a must-get figure. And I think this thing turned out pretty great. The bony boss on the snout that Pachyrhinosaurus is most famous for is painted in a nice dark brown color. You have some dark gray for the beak, some nice white for the lower jaw. The eye is painted in black. It is a very peaceful herbivore look. The bony spikes along the frill all decked out in white. You have some nice dark brown, contrasting with that rusty reddish brown along the frill. Going down to the body, you have more of that dark brown mixing in with the base plastic. All the sculpting and details there, nice scale detail, larger scales along the thighs, folds and wrinkles, a lot of extra toe claws on those front feet, which is, pretty inaccurate for ceratopsin, but hey, this is Jurassic World. We only can get accurate so much, and the figure has a nice long tail. All around, just absolutely loves the proportions of this thing. It's a really, really great looking figure. And here's the DNA code for those who want to scan it into the Fax app. Articulation is pretty basic. For the head, you do have some side-to-side movement. The rest of it is tied to the action feature. Front legs can swing forwards and backwards, and they're also on a hinge joint to swing out for whatever reason. For the back legs, you do get a hip pivot to help with stability, and the back legs can move forwards and backwards. Rolling the knob back and forth on its back will activate its electronic roars and sound, as well as its action feature. So yeah, like weirdly we have some, Lost World Parasaurolophus sounds mixed in there, but for the most part the sound effects work pretty well. Moving on with comparisons, here it is with Owen Grady. Next up, here it is with the old Fallen Kingdom, quote-unquote, Pachyrhinosaurus. Both of them are good figures, but I definitely prefer the Chaos Theory one better. And hey, remember back in the day when Mattel actually used to paint the tails of their mainline dinosaurs? Peppered Farm remembers. Let's do a few Mattel Ceratopsians. Here it is with Sinoceratops, Dino Tracker's Diabloceratops, and the awesome Habitat Defender Triceratops. And here it is with the latest round of Hammond Collection figures, the amazing Giganotosaurus, Therizinosaurus, and Velociraptor Blue. I would love to see, stuff from the video games like Jurassic World Evolution and, Camp Cretaceous Chaos Theory. Figures make it into the Hammond Collection, really, really flush out the line. I know we have, some stuff from Jurassic Park 3, Lost World, and, the Jurassic World franchise to get to, but really keep the line going and feeling fresh, and maybe make the releases a little bit more often. Hammond Collection is a huge line, and I just love to see, like, every retailer carry Jurassic World, start carrying it. Just make it much more accessible for collectors, especially overseas, because they are struggling to get their hands on these figures. And lastly, let's just end these comparisons on a nice Pachyrhinosaurus group shot. Like I said earlier, I consider the Chaos Theory Pachyrhinosaurus canadensis, and the reason for that is it lacks those 3 horns you see behind the head on all these figures in front of you. Every single Pachyrhinosaurus figure over the years has pretty much been Pachyrhinosaurus lacustai, and a lot of us, our accurate dinosaur collecting friends that are watching this video, have been clamoring for a P. canadensis figure forever now. So it's kind of cool that Mattel gave us one. I don't think they intentionally did that, but it's pretty cool that, I have a Pachyrhinosaurus that is not lacustai in my collection, and I really hope, one of the accurate, dinosaur figure makers makes a P. canadensis figure. And in front of us, we have the amazing Beast of Mesozoic Pachy, Safari Limited, Batats, Holland Goods, and PNS. So yeah, Pachyrhinosaurus is a very, very popular ceratopsian. It probably has the most figures behind Triceratops and maybe Styracosaurus. So yeah, it's pretty cool to see all these figures lined up like this. Final thoughts on Chaos Theory's Pachyrhinosaurus. It's great that we finally have our first official Mattel Pachyrhinosaurus. Overall, the sculpt is really good on this figure. Mattel's not known for the most, well, actually Jurassic World's not known for the most accurate looking dinosaurs, but I think this Pachyrhino looks pretty accurate in my book, and it gets huge bonus points because it is not Pachyrhinosaurus lacustai. Just, this is going to be my default P. canadensis until someone else actually makes one. So all around great figure. So that will do it for the review. I actually have a decent amount of Chaos Theory figures to review. I just got the Bottosaurus in. I still have the Ben Escape Pack I have to review, and I got the PNSO Tyranno Titan coming in. So there should be lots of reviews coming up on the channel this month. And as always, if you're enjoying the content on the channel, hit that subscription button just below the video. Each subscription helps out the channel tremendously, and it's greatly appreciated. And I'll see you guys for the next one.